I'll spin this one. Okay. Stephen A. Smith, good evening. Great to be with you. You just heard Tim and I talking about what Andrew Wiggins provided tonight. And outside of Wiggins, I mean, they don't, in Tim's estimation, win this game without him. What did you see from Wiggins in this game on both ends of the floor in terms of his contribution to Golden State's win?
Well, I thought it was the best performance he's ever put forth. I didn't hear you and Tim Legler talking prior to my coming on, but I could imagine what my buddy Legs had to say. Andrew Wiggins stepped up, and he's going to erase memories of him being the #1 overall pick and being in Minnesota and being relatively pedestrian. He was aggressive tonight. He was looking for a shot. He recognized the fact that Steph Curry didn't have his, and as a result, he really stepped up and handled his business on both ends of the floor. Shooting 12 of 23 for the field, ended up with 26 points, grabbing 13 rebounds, embracing the toughest assignment, which was Jason Tatum, and contributing to holding Jason Tatum to 5 points in the fourth quarter and 1 of 5 shooting. So you can't say enough about the job that Andrew Wiggins did tonight. He was clearly the MVP of this game.
No doubt. And my apologies, Stephen A. I never know when you get your earpiece in to hear what the conversation was. But Legs and I were just talking about how if we're patient, which we aren't always in our business, right? If we're patient, we can allow somebody to become something more than they were. And we get what he was and what he...
Yeah, that's always the case.
Right.
Well, that's always the case.
Always.
I mean, of course, if we're patient, we'll see guys. But because you can't afford to be. When guys walk to the negotiating table and they're asking for 30 or 40 million,
it's not
and the money that
though.
you give them costs somebody else something, you don't have, I'm just saying, you don't have but so much time. You need immediate dividends. You need an immediate payoff in that sometimes. And what I mean by immediate, it doesn't have to be that year, but year 2, year 3, you definitely need to see something. You don't need a former #1 overall pick waiting 5 or 6 years to show you what he's capable of doing in a moment like this. But you can't take credit away from what he has shown us. He has shown that he can score the ball, but more importantly, he's willing to embrace tough defensive assignments, and he answers the call. And he deserves a lot of credit for that, and he's getting it right now.
No doubt. Stephen A., if I tell you tonight at 9 Eastern, right before the jump, Steph goes 0 for 3. For the first time in his career in the playoffs, 133rd playoff game, he doesn't make it 3. If I tell you that prior to the game and you're in Boston's locker room, you think we're going home with a chance to seal it. Do you feel like they missed perhaps their best opportunity to steal one if a 7th game is needed?
I don't think so because they're road warriors. They were 7-0 coming into this game. You know what their record was on the road. They were 7-0, in terms of after a loss.
Right.
So we know that they can show up and deliver the goods on the road. I was very scared for Golden State coming into this game because I said they needed this game desperately because they're going to be hard-pressed to convince me that they're going to be able to beat Boston in back-to-back games at TD Bank Garden. That crowd is going to be rocking. They're going to be ready, and I think Tatum and Brown and the rest of the cast will feed off of that. We'll see what happens. But to come back here and Golden State for Game 7, it's not beyond the realm of comprehension that an elite defensive team can show up on the road and really close a team out. It's entirely possible that Boston could do it. I'm not assuming they will. I've got Golden State winning this series in 7 games, but nevertheless, I don't negate the fact, nor do I ignore the fact that the Boston Celtics, with their personnel, can come in here in a Game 7 to win it. But they got to get it done in Game 6 because when you consider what Boston did, they're in a tight spot right now because Golden State shows up in Game 6 Thursday night playing with house money, knowing they've got a Game 7 back here as a worst-case scenario. That's a dangerous, dangerous position for Boston to be in where Steph Curry and them could just show up and know they got 48 minutes to ruin everything for you, and they got the cushion of a Game 7. Boston's in trouble.